LA Knight is a ripoff of The Rock. Yeah, nigga, and LA Knight uses sing-along catchphrases like Dwayne. He has a popular opening line like Dwayne. He sounds like Dwayne. He drops a theatrical elbow just like Dwayne. I haven't seen LA Knight kicking it with the Nation of Islam talking about by any means necessary. Yeah. The only reason this fake controversy has become a controversy in the first place is because LA Knight has gotten massively over. LA Knight picked the right guy to emulate, and now haters mad. I use the term ripoff as a term of endearment, by the way, because every wrestler is a ripoff. But not all ripoffs are created equal. LA Knight isn't just some cheap ripoff of The Rock. That was Juventud Guerrero in 2000 as the Juice, where it didn't get over and Nitro was on its way out. LA Knight is an expensive ripoff of The Rock because he's the hottest guy in the company right now and his price just went up. What's the problem? Waylon Mercy was a cheap ripoff of Robert De Niro in Cape Fear. Bray Wyatt is an expensive ripoff who moves merchandise despite having almost as many matches as MJF over the past year. What's the problem? Shout out to Kevin Nash, who did apologize for that freezing cold take, but I don't need to hear anybody from the NWO talking about ripoffs, because not only was the NWO lifted from New Japan Pro Wrestling, they stole their whole flow from the culture, and we let it slide because A, it got over, and B, most wrestling fans are too white to even notice. For life isn't a Kevin Nash catchphrase, it came from Mac 10. Just like wearing bandanas backwards came from Tupac. Don't play with me on this app. The LA Knight comparisons to The Rock isn't some bold, controversial hot take. Everybody makes that comparison. It's the worst kept secret since Little Richard's dating preference. Woo! You know who else knows that LA Knight apes from The Rock and Stone Cold? WWE. Here's Zelina Vega on the bump, tongue-in-cheek, mocking LA Knight for ripping off Rock and Austin. What's the problem, nigga? WWE, like the NFL, is a copycat league. Why do you think most NFL teams are drafting black quarterbacks these days? Because the most competitive teams, both in fantasy football and reality, have black dual-threat quarterbacks and Josh Allen. We just had a Super Bowl with 2 black quarterbacks for the first time, and I promise you it will not be the last. Pro wrestling is an industry filled with copycats. There are countless New Japan Pro Wrestling ripoffs in AEW, but they don't get called out as much because nobody watches New Japan Pro Wrestling like that. Throw a water balloon at AEW and about 13 undersized white boys who can do flips will get wet. Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Trevor Daniels, the Young Bucks, Kyle O'Reilly, Kyle Fletcher, Sage McIntosh, Pac, Mark Davis, Bradley Simpson, Hangman Adam Page are basically the same guy. Hell, I made up a few of those and I bet you didn't even notice. And don't get it twisted, LA Knight is an indie darling. Everybody wants to see him succeed, even the dorks on Twitter who think they know better. LA Knight is one of the most unlikely indie darlings I've ever seen because he represents the prototypical WWE superstar look, and admittedly, he hates flippy-dippy bullshit. Tell him, Sean.
Lately, I've been digging a lot of flippy stuff.
I hate that stuff.
Really?
That's made me start hating the business. The business that I fell in love with was
like the mom.
Big, strong, masculine men who looked like they were fighting, and they had characters. Even the worst promo guys were good. Now, holy shit. Like, good luck at anybody being able to handle one of these things. It's bad. But everybody relies on goddamn flips and Cirque du Soleil spots and all that shit. I hate it. It caters to the niche audience of, no offense, nerd wrestling fans. And I love the wrestling fans. I love all of them. But what I'm saying is there's a very small niche audience that's going to cater to. Whereas, let's say somebody who hasn't checked in since 2001. Let's say they decide, you know what, I haven't watched wrestling in a while, I'm going to check in. They're going to turn on today's product and go, what the fuck is this?
Now a word from our sponsors.
Today's pro wrestling bit is sponsored by Let's Get Checked. This is a great company that offers discreet, affordable, and professional access to at-home testing. Let's Get Checked will empower you to live a happier and healthy life by taking control of your health with easy-to-use testing kits from the comfort of your own home. Let's Get Checked offers a variety of testing to ensure that you are literally living your best life. They've got male hormone tests, female fertility test, STD test, COVID test, diabetes, and that's just a short list. Over 30 at-home tests are available today. Once you receive a testing kit, just use the easy-to-follow instructions to collect your own sample and mail it back to the lab. Each sample is anonymously analyzed in a certified lab by a team of medical professionals. All results are delivered directly to the user and discussed between the user and the nurse. Results are private and the user can even view them online. Let's Get Checked has administered over 3 million tests. So what are you waiting for? Keeping up to date with your health could literally be a life or death decision. Right now, you can go to our sponsor, trylgc.com/pro-wrestling-bits and use the code WRESTLING25 for a 25% discount. Just click the link in the description. I need you all to be as happy and as healthy as possible because who else am I going to talk about wrestling with? Now back to the bit. LA Knight's rise to superstardom is one of the many signs that tell me internet wrestling is dying on television and sports entertainment is on the come up. I just did a video about AEW, the indie darling sanctuary, shifting to sports entertainment through MJF and Adam Cole's bromance. The Bloodline pulled the highest network rating in pro wrestling history for a 40-minute rope opera. And yes, that is a term I ripped off from Vince Russo. Maybe Nash will do a podcast on that. Sami Zayn became the hottest guy in the company at one point, not by doing El Generico, but by doing Mick Foley. Pause. Sami became a top star after he took off his mask, just like Mankind. Hell, I want to see more 90s ripoffs. And if you've been listening to those pops for LA Knight, I'm not alone. Enough with this internet wrestling that only gets over in a newsletter. Hollywood has made billions doing reboots, so why not WWE? Give me a Harlem Heat reboot with Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. I hope Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits reboot the Nation of Domination. I hope MVP rips off Teddy Long in 2003 when he was calling people cracker every week. I hope Rhea Ripley rips off Chyna. Oh, that's right, she already is, and it's awesome too. So if LA Knight wants to use a tried and true formula that reminds us of the most popular time in pro wrestling, let him! The way I see it, we got a black mermaid, we got a black Spider-Man, a black Nick Fury, we've been had a black Nutty Professor, we're getting a black Barbie up in there, let the Yakubians have a white rock. LA Knight can be the Pearl. I'll allow it. Because it's awesome, motherfuckers don't have to drop each other on their heads with bullshit tiger drivers to get their point across, it's entertaining, and most importantly, it's over. Yeah! Check out this video about AEW getting into the sports entertainment business and subscribe. Who's your favorite ripoff in wrestling? Tell me in the comments!